Dr. Jackson, welcome to Atlantis.
Thank you, Mr. Woolsey. It's great to be back. Colonel Shepard? Rodney?
I can't remember at what point last year, the executive producer, Joe, I was down here actually doing something for the DVDs, and Joe said, we're going to want you to come back in and do something, and we talked at the screening for Ark of Truth, and he said, look, we're starting to write the scripts, are you in? And I said, sure, sign me up. So it turned into the mid-season two-parter, and here I am.
Look, that guy is ridiculous. I mean, he's incredibly talented, he's very good-looking. What was I talking about? He is a force. I mean, that character, you know, Brad and Rob and all the SG-1 writers had created such a spectacular character that would go so well in our, you know, our side of the Stargate universe. And, you know, we've been dying to have him over here for forever. We just needed a good story. And so it's really just kind of a fun, standalone 2-hour movie about, you know, Daniel coming to Atlantis and going on a spectacular adventure.
You know, David and I have worked near each other. We never worked together on SG-1. Briefly, actually, for Mobius, I think we had one scene together. And then a few scenes near each other for Rising, for the pilot for Atlantis. And I just had watched a little bit of the show and saw how fast he talked and how his character was and whatnot.
We were very, very excited to send those two guys off on, you know, a banter-filled adventure. You know, those two guys have a propensity and an ability to speak incredibly fast.
Yeah, I mean, because even if word got back to the other race that the ship should stop using their hyperdrive, they'd be stuck where they were. They'd only be able to travel using sublight engines.
Because an ancient ship's hyperdrives operate on a different frequency of subspace, the ancients could fly around the galaxy and pick them off one by one.
Yeah, or just leave them to die in the vastness of space.
When we decided that it was going to be a Daniel McKay type episode, I kind of blanched because I was like, this script is going to have to be 110 pages long. I mean, they talk so quick, they rip through dialogue.
I think as much as we may have tried to rein ourselves in and slow down, I don't think we were very effective at it. We have a similar tendency, which is we both, when we can't really quite remember our lines, we tend to talk even faster. We both have the same, and become more incoherent as we talk faster.
And so they would start off, that first line would be at a normal human's pace, and then, you know, they get into some sort of speed competition, and by the end it's like, and you're like, I don't understand anything you're saying, and I wrote it. Please, slower.
It's kind of as annoying as working, probably as I am to work with, because all of a sudden, there's a cue. And you're so trying to listen to what he has to say that you don't realize that, oh my God, it's my turn to speak, and I forgot what it was because I was listening to him so intently that oh my God, and there's a cue, and then you spit out your line, and all of a sudden it's back at you again. It was like a, you know, like a game of ping pong with the Masters or something like that because the ball was coming back at you so fast.
You know, you can't replicate chemistry like that. Those two guys have a lot of respect for each other, and they're playing characters that don't. And so, you know, those handoffs that they are able to do with one another is an enormous amount of fun to watch. That Asgard puppet is the best technical actor I've ever met. Everything is exactly the same all the time. It knows its lines, it hits its mark, its eye line is never off. It is a pro.
You know, we act to green screens all the time, and there's nothing there but your imagination. So when there's actually a functioning thing, and the puppeteers have gotten, since we started, the puppeteers have gotten quite adept at matching the lips to the voice and things like that. They've gotten really good at it. So it's become a lot more, I won't say realistic, you know, it's still a puppet.
I mean, look, it's a puppet, everyone knows it's a puppet. It only breathes if the guy standing opposite it accepts it as like a living entity. But Michael really makes it sing. You gotta sell moments, you know, because, you know, if you ever sit back in it, you're like, I'm in a room made out of cardboard, painted silver, talking to a piece of latex. My life is weird, you know? But he really is really great at bringing those scenes to life and making you buy it.
It's limiting because a lot of the time when you work with a puppet, you're nailed to a spot. You have to sort of stick to the scripture, and you can't really move a lot to shake it up or add interesting dynamic, and there's a lot of exposition. But the puppets, it's easy, you know, working with a guy who's got 3 hands up his thing. It's so much fun to just pop into the Stargate world. Like I said, especially at this time of year, right before the hiatus, everybody's tired. It's a lot of fun because you know, I'm rested and you know, and I've been working on other things, but working on different things isn't the same as working on the same thing over and over again. It's very refreshing to change environments, change, you know, the people that you're working with. It keeps you on your toes. And doing a series is a grind. And you know, poor David, after our day in the suit, I'm like, oh, I got a day off tomorrow. What are you doing? And he's got another episode to start. So hence why he was not exactly enjoying the suit business. But for me, because I'm rested and I was having fun and whatever, that it wasn't a big deal. It was, you know, it got a little muggy, but then the weather cooled down a little bit, and so it was fine. But yeah, it's a lot easier to just jump in, and it's a lot of fun to be able to see it and you sort of get your fix, touch base with everybody, and then you get to go away and do something else.